Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It's a lovely day to be out doing this. A little breezy. I mean, it's a humid day, but it's summer in the Ozarks. What do you expect? But it's not terrible. And just a beautiful morning to get out and do a little walking, a little rucking. Been talking with my wife, talking with friends, and I don't know how to say this without offending some people. So I'll just do what I always do and just say it anyways. I worry that there are some people that, and this isn't putting you down necessarily, I get it, but there are some people that you're kind of in a, I don't know, little state of limbo. It's been overwhelming for a while. You've been doing this for a while and you're reading the news, you're doing your prepping, and maybe it's lost its seriousness. Maybe it's lost its intensity, its priority in your life. It happens. You get into a little bit of a lull. Some people, and that's typical with a lot of people. Some people, they get lazy and they know in their heart that they need to do certain things and prep in a certain way. But it's hard, right? It's difficult. And so they just don't do it. And I'd say this, typically, in my experience, and maybe some of you, maybe I'm just the one that has all the worst luck, if you believe in such things. But my experiences in life, whatever you plan for, however you plan, you envision something to work out a certain way. Rarely does it ever work out that way. It's usually a lot worse. It's kind of like the old Murphy's Law thing. It's gonna, whatever your plan is for something to happen a certain way, it's gonna probably be much worse. And I think too many times we sit around, and I was even saying this the other day in a video, that we sit around and we come up with this plan that we think the world is gonna fall apart in this way. We think the reaction in my AO is going to be this. We think the people in my area is going to behave this way. The system is going to be affected in this way. And so that's how I'm planning. That's how I'm preparing. Well, what if it's not like that? What if it's worse? What if it's better? The point is what if it's not like that? Is your plan fluid enough? Are you fluid enough in your preparations, in your training, that if things don't work out as planned, you can adjust? Are you taking things serious in the sense that it could be drastically worse than what you think? I think I say this often as Americans because most Americans have never gone through massively tragic things on a widespread level. Individuals, yes, but I'm talking about an entire region. I mean, the worst is typically like a hurricane or tornado, and those are bad, but they're for a short amount of time, and then things start to get back to normal, and then they go through the rebuilding and all that. What if it's something that's significantly worse than that, and the time period is much, much, much longer, and it affects the whole country and not just one city or one little area of the country? That is within the realm of possibility. That it could be a reality for us. We don't know, but it could be. And that reality could be coming faster than we think. If I set any of you down and I could prove to you beyond a shadow of a doubt that in 2 years, the world as we know it will completely be gone. If I could prove to you, whatever it would take, that for absolutely, I give you a specific date, that on this day, there'll be, major EMP or, an asteroid strike or a massive solar flare, whatever it is, nuclear war. I could give you a specific date 2 years from now. Based on your abilities currently and your income currently, could you be prepared between now and 2 years to the level that you would feel comfortable that you would feel like, okay, I can do this. I'm adequately prepared for this level of collapse. Most people, if you really thought about it, would have to say no. No, I don't think I could. I'd have to completely upend my life for the next 2 years to try to get to that level of preparedness for that level of catastrophe. Well, I'm not saying that that's what we're facing, but we could be. And if you look at all the things that's going on and how the world is kind of going, last few days we had Kamala Harris talking about population reduction, and then the United Nations puts out this report that there's still too many poor people on the planet. You know, they haven't successfully done enough to reduce the hunger and the poverty. Well, you know, a really good way to reduce that is just get rid of the people that are hungry and in poverty. And so are we about to see something that could end up reducing global populations, all kinds of things. You know, some big reset. You know, China, Xi Jinping this past week said that Russia and China are the rightful heirs to lead the new world order thing. Yep, that's what he said. So a 2-year timeline, maybe 6 months, maybe 3 months. And even if it's longer than 2 years, even if it's 10 years, even if it's 2 decades, the fact is that so many people, I think, are, and I don't want to sound too offensive, but they're just playing house. They're playing around. They're doing it because it soothes their conscience. You know, deep down inside, they know things are bad. They know things are going to get bad. But it takes a lot of effort to truly get out there. It's more than, you know, well, I have a couple of cases of canned food, and I have a case of bottled water, and I put out 2 tomato plants this year. You know, I mean, great on the effort, but you're not going to survive very long on that. And we're so, it's like it's like I like to look at it through the lenses as a believer myself. You know, as we put our 1 foot in the world and 1 foot in heaven, you know, kind of thing. Like we're trying to, which we're not supposed to do as believers, the Most High. We're supposed to be sold out, solely focused on that goal of righteousness and holiness, like He is holy, you know? And that's hard, because like human beings are like the opposite of holy. But we're supposed to strive to that. That's our goal. Will we ever get it? Well, maybe not in this form, but that's our goal. And too many believers, they've got 1 foot in the Bible, 1 foot in the church, you know, 1 foot in heaven, and the other foot's in the world. And, you know, they keep just enough of themselves in the Bible and in church and in God to kind of keep the conscience kind of down, where they're not feeling totally guilty all the time. I think that we see that a lot in the preparedness community. They're aware of what's going on. They see the news. They watch the videos. They've put it all together. They know it's bad. But when they start to realize what they have to change in their life, how much they have to do, things they have to rearrange, that's a lot of work. So I'm just going to do a little bit, and I'm going to hope and pray that the catastrophe is on the light side. Well, what are you going to do when it's not? What are you going to do when it's way worse than expected? I mean, if it's that bad, you know, all the gear and all the food and all that stuff is not necessarily what's going to save you and protect you. It's going to be your behavior, your mentality, your actions, the muscle memory that you've developed leading up to that point, that grit that you are determined to survive no matter what. And if you have not been preparing yourself in that manner, then it could be really hard for you, because again, you look at everything that's going on, you know, the bigger they are, the harder they fall kind of thing. Could America's collapse be exponentially worse than even Venezuela a few years back? Yeah, I think so. I think it's definitely within the realm of possibility. If you open your Bible and you start reading about what it's supposed to be like in the end times, no human being has ever seen or heard of anything so horrible. The worst movies you've ever seen of some like apocalypse don't even begin to compare to what is foretold in the Bible. And if we are at that point or nearing that point, then we've got a ride ahead of us, folks. And for those of you that think the last 2 or 3 years have been really rough, you might be in for a rude awakening, because what we've seen so far is really nothing compared to what's yet to come, if that's the time period that we're living in. So we have to be serious about it. We have to, adapt and overcome. We have to realize where our weaknesses are. You need to be able to do self-evaluations on you, on your family, on your preps, on your physical, on your mental. Figure them out. What areas are you weak in? And then put a lot of effort into strengthening those weak areas. And maybe it is food supply. Maybe it is training. Maybe it is, tactical skills. Maybe it is learning how to garden, learning how to heal wounds, learning how to make clothes. Whatever it is that you find weak areas. Maybe it's because you live in a, townhouse in, Philly. I wouldn't want to live there or something like that. Whatever your weak areas, you need to put some focus on that. And maybe you have to make sacrifices in your life. Maybe you have to cut down on all the TV streaming subscriptions that you have. I don't know what the average is, but I remember reading a while back the amount of money the average American now spends in just streaming services. $100 more a month. Well, if you cut all those out, you have lots of time now, and you have money, and then you're going to take that time and money, and you're going to probably get yourself in better shape. And so it's like a win-win situation. Look at the areas of your life that you can cut back in, that you can, get rid of. I've seen people sell their homes and downsize. I've seen people sell their vehicles and downsize. They have a brand new, we did that. We did that a few years ago. We had a very nice, almost new, really it was bordering on luxury vehicle. Very nice. And, we realized that it was really nice, but it was not what we needed out here. So we got rid of it. That was a few years back. I drive an old pickup truck. It does its job. I don't have to worry about, getting around in these kind of conditions, which is my AO. That's the kind of conditions I'm going to be having to get around in. The point is we got rid of something that we didn't need and downsized, downgraded, and got something that was a lot less expensive. And these are things that you can do, and there's more extreme things. Get out and walk 5-6 miles a day. Lose some weight, get in better shape, start eating healthy, put down the McDonald's. There's all kinds of things you need to be doing. Quit wasting your money going and doing other things that aren't enriching you in any way. It's a feel good. We're in this feel good world now. If it feels good, do it. So you spend money and you're spending time on things that make you feel good. Are they making you better? Are they making you better prepared? Are they making you ready for the pending doom that is coming around the corner? Probably not. Maybe you should cut those things out. We need to find a place that in our minds and our hearts that we understand that this is serious. Maybe you don't need to cut everything out of your life, but you need to lean up your life, folks. We all need to do it. I need to do it. I'm doing it all the time. I'm upping my workout routine. I'm upping certain things that I'm doing, have done in my life. I've increased it or I've cut things out. And we've got to be serious about it, because this isn't playing house anymore. We're not just, having a cool hobby that makes us feel good, makes us feel safe. We're watching things transpire in the world right now as we speak. that could very much end up in a major catastrophic collapse and destruction in just months ahead. And too many people just are, you know, they're asleep at the wheel. It's time to wake up. It's time to get prepped up, get prayed up, get ready. Get your houses in order. You need to be preparing mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.